Hey guys, Max here. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Max Niels. I'm a personal trainer from Pleasanton, California, and today I'm going to be taking you through a squat warm-up. It's my custom warm-up. It's 4 phases. We're going to start with SMR, or simply put, foam rolling. So we're going to use a trigger point foam roller right here, and we're going to get right into it. So first thing you need is a foam roller. I recommend a harder one if you're a little bit tighter, a softer one if you're a beginner. I'm gonna get right onto the side of my hip and find that front part of my bone. So from here, I wanna make sure I'm not on that bony part while I roll. I'm just gonna go on the meat. So I'm looking for the muscle. I'm gonna go in and out slowly, looking for a trigger point. So I just found it. So right here, I'm gonna oscillate just a little bit. I'm gonna open up my hips. I'm gonna close them. I'm gonna focus on reaching a little bit with my arm for some T-spine rotation to put that in. I'm just on this trigger point, feeling that release calm down. So now it's a little bit less tight in that sense, and I'm gonna find a deeper spot. So I'm gonna move down towards the knee. I'm really looking to stay on the front part of the leg. So if you guys can see here, I'm not targeting the side IT band. I'm only staying on top of the quadricep. So I started out here and I worked my way through the inside crest of the hip. That way I avoided that bone out here and I just stayed on the tissue, okay? So once I find this quadricep point, the biggest thing that I'm gonna look for here is I'm gonna look for some heel movement. So I wanna do just a couple of reps here, really trying to get that heel all the way to the butt. I'm gonna start to activate those muscles in the legs, start to warm them up as well for my squat. So here, we're just gonna do 3 to 5 reps. We can point the toes either direction with a windshield wiper. As you see my toes externally and internally rotating, my hands and my body can all assist in this. So now I'm going side to side or laterally across that muscle grade tissue. So think about, making sure that movement is varied. So a lot of times people think the foam roller, we're just gonna move like this. But remember, we want to come across the gradient. We want to come on that diagonal or spiral line as well. And then we can hit the linear stuff from there. So we want to start with anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes on the roller. You don't want to take it more than that. So this is just a way to help yourself remember neurologically kind of calm down and open up so you can really get the best stretch in these next 3 phases. So phase number 2, we're gonna hop right into it here. We're gonna talk about a dynamic stretch. So we have a yoga mat. Get something to cushion your knees. I don't want you to beat yourself up on your knees or ankles. So make sure you have a nice soft cushion yoga mat. And I'm gonna take you through 2 of my favorite dynamic stretches for the squat. So our first one, we're targeting the adductors or inside part of the leg. We're gonna spread our knees open. I want your toes pointing to the opposite end, so left and right. From here, I'm gonna find that stretch that's comfortable, I'm in control, and get my hands to leverage me down and back. So I'm pushing those hips to the ground. I'm really making sure that I take a big deep breath in at that end range, like so. In through the nose. Exhale fully for me for at least a 5 count, and then rock it back up. When you're ready, we're gonna add in this straight leg variation. I want you to start with toes on the ground to mimic a squat. From here, you're gonna do the same movement, trying to hug the ground with that left foot. You're really stretching that adductor line from ankle to hip, so be gentle. Remember, like we talked about, if you're a little bit extra tight, you can go slow. And the biggest thing here is that you're making sure you're really feeling yourself control the movement, okay, guys? So this is one of our active dynamic stretches, our frog adductor reach. Number 2, we're gonna take a kettlebell, some weights, you can use a dumbbell as well, anything to load yourself, okay? So we're gonna take something like 30 pounds, nothing more than half our body weight, okay? And we're just gonna use this to help leverage ourselves in our squat. So we're gonna hop right into it. I want you to open up your toes, get your base, how you would squat. Everybody's a little bit different, so find what's comfortable for you, and then drop right down in, okay? I wanna see a tall torso. I don't wanna see you leaning over. No rounded shoulders, shoulders back. Elbows on the inside of the knees. Make sure those toes aren't falling off the ground, right? The toes are down and you're hugging through. You should see the knees over the toes. Yeah, I said it, guys. That's true. Don't believe everything we hear, right? We're gonna make sure in this position, I'm doing what? I'm breathing. At least 30 seconds of deep breathing. When you're ready, you can put in some oscillation again. All that means is some small movement, some small circles are good. So we can just move in a little circle. And remember, we're accumulating time under load here in a good position to help us prepare us for when we actually squat up with that weight, okay? So that's gonna be our phase number 2 of our dynamic activation prep warm-up, okay? Phase number 3, we're gonna hop right into it here. We're gonna go right into that joint prep. So the biggest thing here is that you usually have a couple of things to help yourself create a radiation. So when we talk about joint training, I'm training my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder, my neck, my hips, my knees, my ankle. We have a lot of joints in the body. For the squat, we're gonna do a hip car really quick. So we're gonna take these tennis balls, we're gonna go right into how we get this car done. We're gonna take the tennis ball, place it behind the knee, and squeeze it in there. Now I have to actively activate that backside, everything from here to here, and hold that while I go through my range of motion. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to practice taking your hands, pushing them out. 3 tennis balls is ideal here. 1 for the knee and 1 for both hands. You're gonna bring that knee up and we wanna go straight into abduction. So keep yourself facing that front mirror. Really make sure you're staying tall, no bending over. Point that knee to the right wall while you stay tall. From there, point it to the back, bring it down and in, and retrace your steps out. From there, you can switch sides and give me 3 to 4 reps of these hip cars in a standing position before we go to quadruped. So here, I want you to get rid of the tennis balls. I want you to grab a yoga block. So here, we're gonna use this for biofeedback. It's gonna be right on your lower back, and you're gonna be in this quadruped position. From here, I want you to bring that knee slightly forward without losing the block. The whole goal is to move that hip without moving the spine, right? So now you can really feel that disassociation between the two, and you will struggle to get this car done. That is okay. Most people are gonna have that association and you might lose the block off your side. If that happens, make sure you're tucking the pelvis, so when you're in this position, your tailbone is tucked down. That will create a nice shelf on the back for your yoga block, okay? So that's gonna be our 3rd phase in our squat warm-up. We're gonna tie it all together here, guys. So our final phase, we're gonna utilize some principles from stick mobility. Shout out to Dennis Dunphy. This is the Dunphy squat. So this is what I do every single time before I put weights on my back, right? So we talk about controlling internal loads. This is an external load, 500, 400, 300 pounds, down and up. You see guys do it all the time. But what they fail to do is to create an internal load and control it through that range of motion first. So using the stick, I'm gonna push up and drive into the wall. I'm gonna feel my front side fire and activate, and I'm really gonna create a lot of tension, make it feel like a 500-pound squat. So I'm gonna drive, keep those elbows down and back. Everything else should stay the same with your squat. You can see and hear in my voice how tough that is, guys. So one more time, remember, drive, big deep breath in. Exhale at the top. Remember, we're using the stick mobility here, guys, for that last phase. Check out my squat warm-up. This is all shot by Brody Brazil, so thank you. And check me out on my Instagram at Max Neals Personal Training. Have a great day, guys.